Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I wasn't even thinking about videotaping today, but I thought I'd come on real quick because I was out today and ran into a lady who made a comment about my hair. Oh, I like your hair, I like your curls, my hair won't do that. And then the famous question came that I'm sure a lot of naturals have gotten or a lot of naturals have asked. And that question is, what do you use on your hair? And if you're a natural that's been asked that question, you know it's a very hard question to answer. It's not anything, there's not one thing that you can say, or one item that you can say, this is what I use, and that's that. So when someone asks me that question, it stumps me because there is no one product that I use. There is no one line that I use. And so I cannot answer that question. And what I try to say is, well, I use a lot of different things. Some things I like are this. However, it makes it seem like to the person, or I feel like it makes it seem to the person that I don't really want to tell them what I use. And that's not the case. It's just that there is not this one perfect product. So that tempted me to come and make this video for whomever it may help. So the first thing I want to say, if you are a new natural and you're trying to figure it out, or if you've been natural for a while and you're still trying to figure out what products to use, I want to just kind of share with you some things that have helped me. So the first thing I want to say is it's trial and error. Now, with that said, that means you're going to have to try some things and see if those things work. And if they don't, you're going to have to try something else and see if it works. Because of that, sometimes it can seem expensive to be a natural hair girl, but it doesn't have to be. You can start out with really inexpensive products. But what I will say is when you try something, you need to try it more than once. So what I mean by that is if you buy a line of products, and I'm just going to say Cantu. If you buy a line of Cantu products, the shampoo, the conditioner, whatever, you're going to need to try that line more than just the one time, okay? Because your hair takes a while to get used to product sometimes. It's no different than if you were to take a new medication that the doctor prescribed. That new medication is not going to work as soon as you take it. You have to take it for a few days, maybe a week or two, for that medication to get into your body and your body to get used to it. It's no different than your hair. If you've been doing certain things to your hair and using certain products on your hair is used to that. So when you switch to something else, it's going to take your hair a little bit of time to get used to it. Now, I will say, if you've used these products for, a week or, 2 weeks, say you wash your hair once a week. I don't know how often, you do it. But if you've used it more than once and you get the same result every time, then maybe that particular product or that line is not for you. But it takes trial and error. Sometimes it may be just one item in that line that doesn't work for you and the other ones do. But the way to find that out, for me, what helped me is to keep track of what I put in my hair and how I use it. Now, I didn't used to do that. So in the beginning, I was a product junkie. I tried this, I tried that, I tried this, I tried that. But I stopped doing that and I started saying, you know what, let me give things a try and let me write things down, because I was trying to go by memory. Did this work last time I used it, or did this work? And I couldn't remember. So now I have a little tablet that I keep, and I jot down what I do to my hair on whatever wash day. So that's my second tip to you, is to keep track of what you're doing. So if you shampoo, you want to put in that book, shampooed with this product, deep conditioned with this product, styled with this product. And then once you've styled it, you want to put in there right underneath the results that you got. So using these products, was your hair soft, fluffy, bouncy, shiny? Were the curls popping? Or was your hair dry, dull, flaky, whatever? You want to put that so you remember. Now, sometimes your hair will flake from a product because you've used too much, not necessarily because that product is prone to flaking. So you're going to need to know the difference between those two. So that means if you've used this line of products and your hair flaked, then when you use it again, maybe not use as much, or make sure you read the directions. If it says use on soaking wet hair, but you didn't use it on soaking wet hair, that may be the culprit. So these are things that you have to do to get the best results for your hair. So you need to make sure you're reading the directions on how to best use the product. You want to try the product within its line first. And then if something in the line doesn't work, then you can start kind of switching out. I don't always use one line. I will mix and match lines, but I've learned what works together and what doesn't work together over some years. I've been natural for a few years now. So it's not something that you're going to learn overnight. So I just want to encourage you, as a new natural or as a natural who is struggling with their hair and may have been struggling for 2 or 3 years, to stick with it, to be patient, and to start documenting what it is that works and what it is that doesn't work, so you can go back to that book and you know what works for your hair. So I will say again, just because something flakes doesn't mean it doesn't work. When something doesn't work, it's because it continuously flakes. It flakes if you use a little. It flakes if you use a lot. It flakes if you mix it with this or you mix it with that. Okay? If a product makes your hair really hard and brittle multiple times that you've used it, maybe that's not the product for you. These are the things you want to look for. But say you use a product one time and it worked, and then another time you use it, it didn't work, and then, now you're confused. It's because whatever you mixed it with probably the second time is something that didn't necessarily work together with each other. So document in a book what you're doing each time you do your hair routine, so you know what results you get from what products that you use. Another thing that I want to say is that sometimes you get flaking from buildup. So the product that you're using is not what's flaking, but it's all the other buildup that's on your hair that's flaking. So when you're getting ready to use a new product on your hair, I suggest you do it on clean hair. So that means if you have a twist out in your hair and you've used some products and now you want to try a new product, so you're just going to refresh that old twist out with this new twisting product, and then your hair is dry or flaky or you got particles in it, don't blame that product, because you put that product in your hair on top of other products that you use, on top of probably any sweat that took place within the 3 days or 4 days or a week that you kept that previous twist out in your hair, and any dust particles from the air that's gotten to your hair, and so forth. So when you're going to try something new, always try it on clean, freshly washed hair, so you can make sure that the results that you get is from that product and not from something else that you did previously. So that's another point that I wanted to make. And it's just trial and error. And I said, I don't use one product for my wash and goes. Sometimes I use custards, sometimes I use gels, sometimes I use creams, and every time I'm going to get a different look because they do different things to my hair. And sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. You got to realize that when you use a gel and you get a certain curl, when you change to a custard from another line and you try it, don't expect that to be the same result you get with the gel, because it's not a gel, it's a custard. Don't expect that to be the same result you get with a styling cream, because it's not a gel, it's a styling cream. So you got to go in with the mindset that I might not get these popping curls with this, but maybe I'll get more voluminous curls, or maybe I'll get more of the volume. And that's what I do. If I want a more defined look, I'm going to use a gel. If I want a little bit more volume on the first day, I'm probably going to use a custard or a styling cream. If I don't want hardly any curl definition at all, I want more of a big afro type look, moisturized, then I might use a styling cream. It just depends. So you got to learn your hair in that way. So basically my points are, make sure that if you're using new products, you're using them on clean hair. Make sure that you're using products more than once to make sure that what is happening to your hair is consistent, whether good or bad. If it's consistently giving you flakes, it's probably not good for you. If it consistently gives you some pretty good curls, then that product probably works for you. So you want to make sure use the product numerous times to see what kind of consistency you get with that product, if any. Okay. The next thing you want to do is to keep track in a book what you're using and how it worked for you. Okay, and what you used it with. Then once you find a line of products that work for you, then you can try switching out stuff or mixing this particular gel with a new leave-in, or with a new styling cream, or twisting souffle, or whatever. But you do it one at a time. So if something works, keep doing that, and then add one thing to it and take one thing out. See how that works, okay? Then add one thing to it, but don't get a whole line of products, find out they don't work, then all of a sudden you get 3 or 4 new products and you mix it with one thing with the gel of that line, and it doesn't work, and then you'll never know what your hair likes, and you're shocking your hair. Your hair is like, okay, hold on. First I was getting a whole lot of moisture, and now this is dry, and now she's throwing me back into the moisture, and now, so give your hair a chance to adjust to the new products that you're bringing into it. The next thing I would say is, as long as your hair is feeling moisturized, and as long as your hair is not itching, brittle, it's not breaking off, it's not flaking, you're having a good hair day. Your hair is moisturized, it's shiny. A lot of times our hair don't shine. Natural hair doesn't shine like relaxed hair shines. So I want you to accept the fact that you're not going to get that same level of shine that you got when you were relaxed. It's not going to happen because you're cute. Your hair is just not flat and letting the sun just pop off of it. Your hair is coarse. It's kinky. It's coily, it's moving around, curls on top of each other, so that sun is not bouncing off a straight layer of hair like it did before. So you got to get used to that. But if your hair is moisturized and feeling soft to the touch, if your hair is growing, if your hair is flourishing, then that's good hair. That's good hair, whether it's coil tight or coil loose or zigzagged or whatever the case may be. It's healthy hair, and you'll learn to love it as it grows, and as long as you take care of it, it'll grow. So I just wanted to let you guys know that if you're asking that question to people, what do you use on your hair? Think twice about asking them that, because what works on their hair still may not work on your hair, and what doesn't work on their hair may work beautifully on your hair. So that's not a question that someone can answer for you. Okay, if you want being asked that question, same thing. That's not a question that you can really answer for somebody, because if you tell them what you use and then they go home, they buy their product, they go home and they don't get the same results, then they're looking at you like, even though they don't see you again, they're probably like, it's just that you're setting them up for disappointment is what I'm saying. So don't set someone up for disappointment, and just let them know, hey, I can tell you what products here that I like, but I can't tell you how they're going to react on your hair, because our hair is different. Our porosity is different. Even though your coils and your curls may look like mine, it doesn't mean that it's going to absorb the product like mine. It doesn't mean that it's going to coil up like mine, because our hair is different. Nobody has my hair. God gave this hair to me. Nobody has your hair. God gave that hair to you. So we have to embrace what we were given. We have to love what we're given. We have to work with what we are given. And I'm telling you, it did not happen overnight for me. It took a lot of practice to get the wash and go to look like I wanted to look. And I sometimes still don't get it to look like I want to. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a bad hair day. But hey, I let my hair do what it wants to do. I have learned to not fight it anymore. I don't fight my hair. I don't try to make it do something that it doesn't want to do. If it poofs out and it wants to be big, I let it do that. If it's flat and hanging and I'm trying to fluff it and it don't really want to fluff, I let it do that. If it's to the point where it's getting old, then I might pin it up or something like that. But I don't try to force my hair to do something that it cannot do or does not want to do at the time. Hair is going to depend on the weather. It's going to depend on the products you use. It's going to depend on so many different elements that you may not get the same result 2 days in a row, even though you use the same products 2 days in a row, because the humidity may be different. The dew point outside may be different. It may be raining one day, the other day is shiny, sunny. So all these things affect the way your hair looks and how it comes out, and you just got to go with the flow. You just have to go with the flow and learn to love it, learn to embrace it, learn to work with it, make adjustments if need be. If your hair turned out really good and you walked out that morning and your hair is banging and looking good, but in the middle of the day it rained and now your hair is, hey, adjust. That's all you can do is adjust. You can carry a bobby pins with you, carry a scrunchie with you and pull it up, and now you got a big puff because the curls are no longer as defined as they were, and you work with it, you adjust, just like you have to adjust with anything else. So I hope this helps somebody. I hope that you guys took this in the way that it was intended, which is with love. I'm not trying to bash anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad if they buy a lot of products or anything like that. I'm not trying to be a know-it-all either. I'm just trying to share with you what I've learned over the years. And what I've learned over the years is it takes time, it takes patience, it takes your hair getting used to things, and it takes you just loving your kinks and curls in whatever state they're in, and however they look, and not expecting your hair to look like anybody else's, because your hair is unique to you, and your hair is going to look the best on you than it looks on anybody else. My hair is going to look the best on me than it looks on anybody else. If you take my hair off my head and put it on somebody else, it probably won't even look the same. So that's all I can say is your hair is meant for you. So love it, embrace it, and just give it a chance to show you what it can do by you taking care of it and loving it and nurturing it as best you know how to do. So if there's any questions that anybody has down in the comment section, please leave them down there. I'll be happy to answer them if I can. If there's something that I touched on that didn't make sense, leave a question for me. And if there's something you disagree with, hey, put that down there in the comments too. I am open to dialogue and back and forth. And like I said, we all can learn from each other. I'm still learning. I would love to hear what other people have to say regarding their hair or what works for them. So leave all that down in the comment section. And until next time, thanks for watching.